Yo, I'm just gonna make some YouTube videos, I guess, and I hope you guys find this helpful. I have no idea if this is even in view, but I just figured it's gonna be a good time for me to just spit out loud, just get my thoughts out. And I feel like I talk in the car anyways, so if people actually like find this valuable, amazing. I hope you find this valuable. I hope you find this entertainment. But I'm just gonna be like 100% true to myself. I really hope this is in frame. I'm actually unsure because it's on like my little car. You know, like the little map guy? It's on that. So hopefully it's in frame. Whatever, all good. So yeah, I'm gonna talk about my day in my life because I am right now in the position, so blessed, where I am juggling two businesses at the same time. Meanwhile, I'm trying to be the best husband that I can possibly could be. I'm trying to get in the best shape of my life. I'm trying to build the most sustainable, fun, fulfilling business ever. And I feel like this is like a really, really cool challenge that I am pushing myself towards. And my day, as soon as I wake up, it's like crazy structured. So it's like, you know, I wake up at like 6 a.m. and I have like my morning routine, right? And maybe you guys are thinking, oh man, this guy's type A, which by the way, my ADHD just hit. Type A, apparently, because I was playing volleyball yesterday, this lady or this girl I was speaking to, she was like, yeah, type A just means that you're like super rigid. Like you like things like organized, like it has to be done a certain way. And I feel like I am kind of like that, unfortunately. And I didn't think I was type A for the longest time. But apparently my wife is also type A in that she's super organized. But I'm not super organized. Now I'm just rambling at this point. Jesus Christ. So type A or type not, whatever it is, I like to have a lot of structure in my day. And I feel like the reason why is so that everything is done very efficiently, right? If there's no structure, if you're unsure what you're gonna do, you kind of like waste a little bit of your day. Like you could be doing stuff, but you don't. You just end up kind of like chilling around for a bit longer. You don't have your routine dialed in, and then time goes by and you're like, oh, I should be doing this thing, and you kind of like dread it and you start to procrastinate. And for me, I'm just like, I feel like I'm so guilty of that, and I really hope this isn't frame. Yeah, I'm just really, really guilty of that in particular, where it's like I feel like if I don't have that structure, it's really hard for me to build that routine. And I'm a gym guy, like I have a fitness business, but sometimes even for me, like if it's end of the day and I just finished a bunch of work, I just had like a 10-hour day, 12-hour day, I'm exhausted, I just kind of just want to chill on the couch and like hang out with my wife, because that's what I do anyways. Like it's a really, really important part of my day, where as soon as my wife gets off work, we're hanging out, we're spending quality time together. And for me, like that's super important, because I find that if I don't allocate that time to my wife, I end up just like going on my phone, responding back to emails, you know, we're having conversation, it'll be like dinner time and I'll be like checking my phone and stuff. So I have like really, really hard kind of like these, almost like these boundaries, where that was a really big push for me in Q4 last year, where I'm just like, I need to make sure I have structure in my business, but also like structure in my personal life. And I just remember, like, you know, it was something I always struggled with, where even when I was a physio, like I remember maybe like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 4.5 years ago, I would come home after work, I'd still be a physio at the time, and I'd be treating clients like freaking 8-hour days. And then I'd come home and my wife would be like, hey, let's go hang out with our friends, play some board games. And I'm like, oh, all right, there. So I'd go to work, or I'd go to my friend's place, and I'd just be on the couch freaking doing work. And then it really hit me hard, because I'm like, is this what life's supposed to be like? Should I just be like working so hard just to go on my phone and work even more? And so to me, I think a big portion of my life and what I found to make me have a lot more joy is like having these hard cutoff days, where as soon as like 5:30 p.m. hits, that's family time. Like 100%, I'm giving my all to, you know, my business, whatever it is, fulfillment, creating impact. And then come 5:30, like that's freaking hard line family time. And to me, that's worked really, really well, right? It's helped me get less type A and enjoy the moment. And for me, like that's so important, because there's so many people in this life that they kind of just live, they're just breathing, right? And I guess like for me, last year I had like this portion of my life where I just felt like I was going through that phase. I was just like, man, I just want to keep building, scaling, building my team, like get bigger business. I just want to keep growing. And then I remember like looking at people around me. I went to like this mastermind event, and all these business owners around there, they're crushing it, right? They're so successful. but they look super unhappy. And I was just like, oh my God, like, am I gonna be that person? Am I gonna be the person that's gonna be really unhappy, or it doesn't look like they have a lot of joy and they're kind of grumpy looking? And I'm like, I want to have more play in my life. So what I started doing was I started reading books, right? I just went hard on the mental masturbation side of things for like books. And it was super funny because I have a really good friend. I'm telling her about this stuff, and it's probably like the third book at the time. I just finished like Never Die With Zero or something like that. And she's just like, bro, like, why are you telling me about all these books that you're reading? They're all the same. They're the exact same. And I'm just like, God damn. Her name's Sherry. I'm like, God damn, Sherry, you're right. Like, all these books, it's not changing my habits. Like, all I'm really doing is trying to read these books, imprint it to my brain to try to make myself feel better, as opposed to like making implementation and implementing something to make my life actually better. Because there's so many people out there that'll say they want something, but they won't actually do it, right? They'll say they want to do something, and when the time comes, they're not implementing. So all that time that you're just spending researching, nothing's ever done. So for me, like, a big push in my life is like creating that boundary. So going back to like what my day looks like, halfway through home right now. So as soon as I get home, I'm just gonna end this video. It's like waking up and I have a really, really solid morning routine. And the reason why is because like sometimes I wake up and I'm not like, oh, I'm so happy, I have so much joy. I wake up and I really need to set the tone. I need to set my emotional state. And it's like, if you're gonna go and live life, before I used to feel like I was kind of like this grumpier person. But I remember making this promise to myself where if there's nothing that's, bad going on, if you can choose your state, why not just choose like joy? Why can't you just choose to have more joy? Like, what's the point of just being grumpy for no reason? So every single morning I continuously remind myself, it's like, hey, choose your emotional state. Like, you're waking up today, what are some great things that's happening in your life? What are some great things that happened yesterday? What are things that you're super grateful for? And for me, I wouldn't say like doing a gratitude journal is the thing that really helps me. It's like these certain prompts that will help me live a more fulfilling life. So it's really just having more alignment. And for me, alignment comes down to doing the things that actually make you super happy, because there's so many things in this world where you're just implementing all these things, you're just doing stuff, but it's not actually things that will make you super happy. And a really good example of this was, I'm digressing like crazy. But a really good example of this was actually when I finished physio school, right? I studied in Australia, came home, did all the school and all that stuff, and I went to the UFC as the physical therapist. And it was more of those things where it's like, oh, Dax, you finished physio school, you've been doing this for so long, like, what's next? Oh, you know what, it'd be cool to be like the physio for a sports team, a professional sports team. It means like, you've done some really big things. Okay, cool, go and do that. But I realized that wasn't like the thing I truly wanted, or it wasn't the thing that I truly wanted for myself, And I started thinking about other things, like, oh, what should I do? What's the thing that most physios should do when they graduate from school? Oh, most physios should start their own clinic. Okay, so left the UFC, started my own practice, and then when I started my own practice, it's like one of those should have things. It's like, man, this really sucks. Like, you gotta go to work every single freaking day because you're paying rent, and there's XYZ, whatever happens. You could be a snow day because I live in Canada and people don't just show up and stuff like that, and you're still paying rent. So for me, it was just like, whoa, my God, these things, like, people don't really tell you, but there's so many all these should do things. So a really big portion of my life, and those are really good lessons, by the way, like, I wouldn't give that up for anything. All those should have done things are just really, really great reminders that the life that you want to live are dictated from your actions. And having really clear understanding and alignment for what you truly want in life is so important, because then you can create your action plan. And the thing that I continuously remind myself is, because it's really hard for me to look at like the 5-year mark, the 10-year mark, is I ask myself, what is the thing that I would want to do today to make my day freaking 11 out of 10? What is the thing today that's going to create an 11 out of 10 day? And then I write it down, and most of the time it's like pretty similar, and then I start implementing it. So one of the things it just seems like it's more routine now. The first thing that I do that makes me really, really happy and brings me a lot of joy is journaling. Like, and as corny as it sounds, it's just like, it just helps me stay in alignment. It helps me stay congruent to the type of person that I want to be. Is the, you know, I just feel like me writing my thoughts down and having everything in paper, it gives me a lot more clarity. And that clarity really drives my decision going forward. From here, it's like, okay, it could be business tasks that I need to do. It could be all these great things. But like, it's always just like journal, train, build my businesses, spend quality time with Kristen. Like, it just seems like it's just continuously. And for me, I just feel like that is really, really helpful for me, because it helped me stay in that space of, man, like, you're doing the things that you really want to do right now. And of course, there's days where, you know, I wake up, I'm just like, fuck, like, you know, I wake up and I'm like stressed or whatever it is, like, you know, ads are costing more, marketing is like, you know, whatever it is. And that's just part of being a business owner. And I feel like having that emotional state and being able to choose your emotional state, whatever happens, you're able to choose how you respond. Oh man, that is so powerful. And I really wish that a lot of people took the time to realize that strength, because when things happen, right, things happen for you, but the thing that you can really control might not be like the situation itself, but it's like how you respond to it. And if the only thing you can control in this situation is how you respond to the situation, man, powerful stuff. Anyways, after I do my journaling, it gives me a lot of alignment, a lot of congruency. And then once I finish that, I usually go train right away. I used to do a lot of deep work first, but for me, it didn't really bring that alignment, right? I really like to choose my emotional state. Like, you know, I have mornings to myself, have coffee, I go train, I feel amazing, like dopamine's super high, right? Endorphins are, you know, flowing through. I go and train, I have like a really, really good workout, and that already sets the day where I'm just like, man, I had an amazing morning. Like, whatever happens, I had a freaking amazing morning. Yeah. So after that, then I'd start my work day, which is usually around like 10:30. I start working at 10:30, and I always have like 2 to 3 hours of deep work. I wish it was more, but I have a lot of meetings, starting at around like 1-ish usually. And then from there, 1 to 5:30, hard meetings, and I am almost home. So this is a really quick YouTube video about my life. And then right now it's 5:15, right? Had no meetings for the last hour, so I went to the driving range, enjoyed that. Took out the car today because it's a beautiful day. It was beautiful, the sun's going down right now. And then now Kristen's gonna be off work, and I get to spend some really good time with her. And that's the day of my life of this video. Hopefully you guys find this helpful. We'll see. Anyways, I have no idea if this is the frame. Hopefully it is. If not, all good. Peace, guys.